3 days ago, the new head of the British Army, General Sir Patrick Sanders, said the UK and our NATO allies faced, and I quote, a 1937 moment. He saw a threat far greater than just the Russian incursion into Ukraine, dreadful though that is. He and several other senior military figures have suggested the prospect of a new Europe-wide war is real, even a third world war. He suggested that we faced a similar challenge to that which the UK faced all those years ago in the face of the Nazi threat: appeasement or rearmament and resistance. The UK has been second only to the United States in our military and economic support for Ukraine. And this week, the Prime Minister pledged even more, saying, and I quote again, "The cost of freedom is always worth paying for." He's already committed the best part of £5 billion of our money in direct military and humanitarian and economic assistance. Boris Johnson also urged other NATO members to step up to the plate and meet the 2% target of GDP for defence spending, and pledged that we would increase our spending from 2.3 to 2.5% of GDP by the end of this decade. Well, the Defence Secretary, Ben Wallace, he welcomed that and thought that he wanted perhaps a little more and perhaps a little sooner, but he was grateful. The Foreign Secretary, however, Liz Truss, said the UK's contribution would enable the Ukrainians to succeed, as they are not just fighting for themselves, they are fighting for all of us. But there was this note of caution. Truss said, "We'll continue to support them in the long term, in whichever way we can, in a way that we can afford." So, no blank cheque. Well, today I'm asking if we really are heading for the terrifying spectre of a third world war. Is the will of the British people still firmly behind the Prime Minister on Ukraine, if not perhaps much else? Are we punching above our weight? Remember, President Trump said the United States would only continue to defend Europe via NATO if Europe also pulled its weight. And finally, in the wake of the fall of the Berlin Wall, the collapse of the Soviet Union and the end of the Cold War all those decades back, might we have been too keen to spend the so-called peace dividend? Well, joining me now are a top defence correspondent of more than 50 years standing, a former top advisor for both the Ministry of Defence and NATO, a Ukrainian MP and a former Europe Minister and the current chair of RUSI, the leading defence policy think tank. We also want to know what you think. How worried are you? Is the military-industrial axis talking it all up? Are the generals itching for a fight? Might we, just might we, be doing the right thing? GB News is all about you, our audience, so do email us at gbviews@gbnews.uk with any comments that you may have on our stories that we're covering today. We're also on Twitter, as indeed am I, and on Facebook.